What's up, guys? It's Lunatic, coach of the Brookhaven Banettes, and this is week 1 of the PSBF Season 2. Just a heads up, this one is going to be post-com because at the time of the match it was late at night and not to be a disturbance, so it will be post-com, but yeah, most of them shouldn't be. So, his team, we're going up against the Galactic Greninja. His team is Tornadus, Therian, Politoed, Swampert, Wingscat, Mismagius, Raichu, mega-scizor, Kingdrum, Metagross, Azelf, and Skuntank. It's a rain team with mega-scizor, which is so difficult to play against. Mega-scizor is just naturally bulky and has one weakness, which is fire. And then the rain mitigates that fire weakness. So mega-scizor is a pain to deal with. Politoed is just bulky. Kingdra, I noticed first. Kingdra is a huge threat to my team, and my I have a few answers to it, but not a lot. So I just have to kind of play around it. So the first one we have here is Pillowhead, the Lander Therian, with leftovers Intimidate, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Knockoff, Toxic, max 248 HP, max attack, and an 8 defense Impish. I brought this just for like the likes of Scizor to be a defensive check, or maybe Metagross. A few physical attackers, I wanted something that can take those on kind of well. It's also my rocker. And the attack is so, I actually do damage and stuff with Earthquake. Next up we have P, the Aerodactyl, with the Life Orb with Stone Edge, Earthquake, Aerial Ace, and Home Claws, with 60 HP, 252 attack, 8 defense, and 188 speed. Jolly at speed, everything on his team, and with the Home Claws, I do a lot of damage to his team with the Aerodactyl. Next up we have Grape Squasher, the Hariyama, because his hands are like grapes, and his feet. It's Assault Vest with Guts with Close Combat, Knockoff, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch. Yeah, Fire Punch is there primarily for Scizor, even in rain. I still want to bring the fire coverage. Thunder Punch hits a lot of his team. The Tornadus, Therian, the Politoed. Okay, those two. But it does a lot. Close Combat and Knockoff. Knockoff is really good against his team. I think Politoed, it can get rid of Damp Rock or Leftovers. Torn-T can get rid of like an Assault Vest maybe. Getting it off on Kingdra can get rid of whatever boosting item it has. Azelf could be nice to get it off on too. So I'm max HP, 116 defense, special defense, sorry, and 140 attack Adamant Nature. This is also my status absorber of the game. Next we have Lolly, the Tapu Lele, holding the Mind Plate with Side Shock, HP Fire, Calm Mind, Substitute. So Side Shock hits like everything in the game, and what it doesn't hit super effectively, or like, what it doesn't hit neutrally, HP Fire does. And Calm Mind Sub. 76 HP, 252 attack, special attack. Wow, 252 special attack, modest, and then 180 speed. What's that speed creeping? I don't remember. It might be mega-scizor. Might be like a fast mega-scizor. Next we have Deborah the Zebra, the Substriker, with the Expert Belt, Wild Charge, Overheat, Volt Switch, HP Water. Again, Electric for the Torn-T and Politoed is very nice. Overheat for the Mega-Scizor, Volt Switch for Initiative, and HP Water is to hit, what was it? What was HP Water for? I'm sorry, this battle happened a while ago. And to be honest, I don't remember why I had HP Water. Really don't. But it gets boosted in the rain. So there's that. Like what? What would that hit, right? The thing it really would hit would be Swampert, but I could bring HP Grass. But HP Grass does nothing to the rest of the team, so whatever. HP Water. I'm 4 HP, 252 attack, 252 speed, naive nature. And lastly, we have the Mega Blastoise with Rain Dish to get that cheeky little 1-turn leftovers or something. With Scald, Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, Rapid Spin, 248 HP, 124 special attack, and 136 special defense. Calm. This is my check to the Kingdra, who tears through my team. Yeah, this is kind of my special wall. I have and then Assault Vest Hariyama, and Tapu Lele naturally has good PSBF. So that's how I'm dealing with his special attackers, kind of. And yeah, that's the team. So I'll be back with that. And we're here at the battle. So we do see he brought Torntea, Politoed, Kingdra, mega-scizor, Whimsicott, Azelf. I predicted the Torntea, Politoed, Kingdra, and Scizor. I thought Whimsicott would be the last thing he brought because I do have Lele with Psychic Terrain, and that completely cancels out Whimsicott's Prankster. So that threw me off. It did make it a little trickier to play around because I didn't prep for it. I definitely thought it was not coming. So that threw me off. And Azelf was definitely a potential bring. I thought he would bring Azelf or just Magius. So first turn, he leads Politoed and I lead Zebstrika. He's going to protect, I guess, scouting for me. I just go for a Volt Switch. I figured Zebstrika got the best matchup and I get a free Volt Switch. Goes into Kingdra, already threatening me. So I go into Tapu Lele, and he doesn't know what I am. I guess he's scared. So I just fire Side Shock, that tornadoes T, almost dropped in one shot. I go into my Blastoise, he U-turns out. I get that nice Rain Dish. I Mega Evolve here, and I go, he U-turns out. What do I go for? Ice Beam, I just go for Ice Beam. So he brought in the Politoed. I go into Hariyama to take the Toxic, get that Guts boost, and also Mega Blast. I really didn't want Mega Blastoise getting more down. He goes for Protect, so he's just really annoying set. So here's where the mind game kind of happened. I figured he would go into, oh no, okay, here I just attack what's in front of me. I do have Fire Punch, so I want to catch that Scizor. I go into Mega Blastoise, take the Side Shock. He brings in Politoed again, gets the Drizzle. Go for a Dark Pulse. That's a decent amount to the Toad. I go for another Dark Pulse. I get the Flinch here, which is unfortunate for my camera's terrible. Hold on. He goes for Protect. He gets a little HP back. And then I just swap out, predicting the Toxic. I go into Hariyama. It's already been Toxic. He goes for Protect here. I go for Knockoff. Cause I would love to get rid of anything inside him. And here, I thought about going for the Fire Punch, but he didn't swap Scizor last time, so I was like, he's not going to do it this time. So he goes Scizor, he U-turns out. And he goes into Whimsicott on my Fire Punch. I guess he didn't think I had the Fire Punch, so Whimsicott takes a big amount of damage as Hariyama goes down. I bring in Tapu Lele. I just go for... I go for Substitute, that's right. He brings in Azelf. He goes for Shadow Ball. So he shows you faster. I set up Calm Mind. Goes for another Shadow Ball, and that did more than I wanted it to. So I go for the Side Shake, takes it out, but unfortunately I did get this PSBF drop. So Politoed comes in, and then he swaps again into Scizor to take a Side Shock. And then he brings in Tornadus to sack, so I'm not sure what he was doing there. I guess he wanted a free switch into Kingdra, or he thought Scizor would take that better. So, okay, let me catch up a little. So yeah, with Lele back at neutral special defense, it could not take a hit from Kingdra. If I still had that +1 special defense, I could have stayed in there and just attacked the Kingdra. But I could not. So I go into Blastoise, and I take that Surf, and it did 30%. And in my calcs, it was like it should not do that much because I was calculating Life Orb Kingdra. So the only way that Surf would do that much is with Choice Specs. So now I know this Kingdra's Choice Specs, and looking at my team, nothing wants to take Surf. This was my only thing to take Surf, and Mega Blastoise just got killed by 2 serfs. So at this point, I actually thought I lost. I go into Lander, sack that, gone. However, rain just ended, so I go into Tapu Lele. I outspeed him. And here, I go for the substitute. Okay. So the only way I win this match is if I get Lele behind a sub, because I have no way to stop Politoed from coming in instead of setting up rain. I have no way to get rid of the rain. Politoed comes in, sets up rain, and Kingdra comes back in. It just beats my team. I have nothing. I don't have Sash, I don't have Protect to stall out turns or anything. So, I figured he would swap out the Kingdra because that's his win con. So on the switch, I get a sub, and then I just have big clean through the rest of the team. If he brings in Kingdra at any point to try and take on Lele, yes, he can break my sub, but then I kill it, and that's really his win con at this point. So Lele has to get behind this sub, and this sub has to take that one hit from Kingdra for Lele to take it out. He brings in Whimsicott, and here, this was I don't know what to call it. I guess his lack of understanding, or he forgot that Psychic Terrain prevents Prankster from working, and he went for Encore on my sub, thinking, just force me to keep using substitute. But it didn't work. It's like Terrain is up. So the Whimsicott just goes down, and so while Whimsicott was kind of annoying to deal with before, at this point this shows why Whimsicott was not a great bring. This whole game was like, if Psychic Terrain's up, I'm safe from Whimsicott, and if it's down, I need to be more careful about it. But this showed exactly that I was safe. I took it out, and I'm still behind my sub. So now goes Politoed. He sets the rain. So here, you go for Side Shock. I get a crit. He was max HP, max defense. And with that spread, Side Shock was a roll. It wasn't my favorite, but it was a roll. So that crit may have mattered because if I didn't kill him there, Politoed would break my sub and then Kingdra comes in and lose. So that was unfortunate for my opponent, and without the crit, it would have been a roll, so we don't know how that would have panned out. But I guess it was lucky for me because I'm still behind the sub and I take out Politoed. He brings in Scizor. He predicts my HP Fire goes Kingdra, but it really doesn't matter. He goes for Surf to take out my sub. I Side Shot, kill the Kingdra. He goes into the Scizor. I swap out and go into Zebstrika. And I go for the Overheat in the rain. But he shows that he's a Roost variant, so I'm not doing anything here. So I go into Aerodactyl, because I don't want to go directly Lele. He bullet punches my Aerodactyl. I go for Earthquake. It does very little. And I just go for Stone Edge as he goes for a Roost, I believe. Yeah, he goes for a Roost. So here I go Lele. Now I had a guaranteed kill with Zebstrika, but if you've been following along, Lele killed the Tornti. It killed the Politoed, killed the Kingdra, it killed the Azelf, and it killed the Whimsicott. So I wanted Lele to pick up its 6th kill in one game. So I go Lele. This HP Fire is a roll, depending on his spread. He did seem to have SPDF investment. So this was a roll. I had a guaranteed win in the back, so I figured this is fine to take the risk to get Lele 6 kills. I go for the HP Fire, and I do get the knockout. So Tapu Lele showing his power this game. Just destroying everything on the team, really. Politoed, with Politoed, a max HP, max defense, Side Shock. Without the roll, that was 70%. I think I had a Kingdra from around 70. That Tornti came in, dropped to 3% on one Side Shock. I think Tapu Lele is a monster. I'm already so happy I drafted it. I really liked it. And yeah, it came through. It got that sub up and saved me, because that Kingdra was going to destroy me. So, really good job to this Tapu Lele. Good job to the Hariyama for whittling some stuff down, like Blastoise as well. Fortunately, the rest of the team didn't do too much. The Draco got a little initiative. Aerodactyl had a little chip in. Lander just died. He would have sacked. Yeah, Yeah, I figured Landorus could go down because he's only physical attacker with mega-scizor, and it was there for as a defensive check, so that can go down. Yeah, and Lele feels so good to use against Scizor because it can't bullet punch you, so that feels good. So next week, we're facing another rain team, so we'll see how that goes. Good game. Shawnsters, I believe, is the coach's name. The Galactic Greninja. Good game. It was definitely really intense. It was very intense. But good game, and well, I'll see you next week.